You know, the popularity of sport utility vehicles is just one of the reasons that Chevrolet anticipates a lot of interest in the new 95 Blazer. Chevy completely redesigned the Blazer from the ground up. It offers a lot of reasons for sport utility buyers and Chevy salespeople to get excited. Like a lot of new standard features, a redesigned suspension for smooth ride and handling, reduced interior noise, and much more. And we'll be telling you more about all of these things in this program. Hi, I'm Peter Carey, and welcome to Truck Track.
Hello, I'm Loretta Higgins. The new redesigned Blazer is one of Chevy's biggest stories for the 1995 model year. As Peter mentioned, we'll be taking a close look at some of Blazer's new features in this edition of Truck Track. We'll also be covering several other important topics, including a story about the next generation of onboard diagnostics. But first, let's look at how consumers' buying habits have changed in the 1990s. And how that affects the truck market and sport utilities in particular.
You know, we've done a lot of research on this thing. What do SUV buyers want? And in fact, we even had an anthropologist go out and live with people so we can find out exactly what in the world people that bought these sport utility vehicles were looking for. First one is the fact that it's multi-purpose. You can use it for a lot of different things. You can use it to haul the kids or haul lumber or whatever you want to put in the back end of it. You can do those things with. Also the fact that you can take it off-road and you can use it in that manner. Then there's this thing with security. They feel a little bit more safer. At least there's a tendency for people to think that the fact that they got four-wheel drive in the wintertime, that they can hit the four-wheel drive and at least feel a little bit better in that situation, a little bit more under control. And then we got this other issue called multi-dimensionality, which these sport utilities really just, at least according to this anthropologist, do not have a off-the-shelf image. And these particular buyers can buy a sport utility vehicle, and if it's the businesswoman, the truck assumes her identity in a way. If it's the macho man and he wants to take it off-road hunting or fishing or whatever he wants to do, it assumes his identity. It assumes the housewife's identity, the person that's going to use it mainly to go grocery shopping or, you know, taking care of the children or whatever.
The design challenges in addressing this particular market are great in the area of car versus truck. We have a truck. This is a truck and it must remain a truck. That's why a lot of people come to this market. They want all of the strengths and safety aspects of a truck. It's a full frame vehicle. It has all of the big brakes and towing capacity that you would expect in this class of vehicle. Yet they're bringing along with them all of the favorite factors that they are used to in their passenger car. And so subsequently we have to balance the needs on both sides of that issue. And we feel that the new Blazer's done a good job of that. It has all of the strengths and security of a truck product, but has all the creature comforts and conveniences of a car.
Chevy expects several of Blazer's new features to be very popular with consumers, especially its ride and handling and interior quiet. Of course, customers will be able to choose between several models and trim levels, and we can all look forward to some top-selling combinations. For 1995, Blazer will have two models, two-door and four-door, and three trim levels, base level, LS, and LT.
In today's market, the needs and desires of the four-door buyer are fairly obvious because it's such a strong and emerging market. We still had some two-door people out there that we didn't want to leave in the dust. And we found out something very interesting, that they are interested in sport utilities, but from a different perspective. That the emphasis for them is on the sport side of sport utilities. And sport was the big word we got, even to the point where they were not concerned about compromising the functional aspect of the cargo bay. And when you see the two-door version of the Blazer, you'll see that the rear profile is faster or sportier than the four-door. By the same token, the body side graphics are significantly different. The number 3 pillar is very fast and rakish, and affords us the opportunity to put a small window between the front door and the rear sail panel. The whole truck looks different than the four-door, and it really addresses the needs of that two-door sport market.
The new Blazer models will experience a unique crossover situation this fall. Chevrolet will be building both the 1995 Blazer models and the 1994 S-Blazer at the same time until December. While it may seem like the two models compete, you can help customers make the right Blazer choice by understanding how to position each model.
There's been a lot of questions raised about why in the world are we building this current S-Blazer through December and at the same time coming out with the new Blazer and trying to introduce it in September. And they're going to be both being built at the same time. Well, you know, the answer to that is simply this. I mean, the market is going to dictate what our build is going to be. And the market right now can handle both those units at the same time, especially since they're going to be priced apart from each other. There's going to be a pretty good price spread between there, and for somebody that wants a good truck for $2,000 to $3,000 less than the new one, they can go to the old one. Basically what we're doing, because we're offering both of these units at the same time, is we're giving the salesperson a chance to sell the truck. He can either sell the old one or the new one, and we're not going to lose a sale by having both of them out there at the same time. We're in fact increasing our opportunity to make a sale for the salesperson.
What makes 95 Blazer drive so smoothly? The answer is in the redesigned suspension, part of the new driver control system. Chevy expects the driver control system to help Blazer perform as best in class in ride and handling and in reduced interior noise.
At the beginning of this Blazer program, we went through a benchmarking process. We started out by looking at our obvious competitors, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Ford Explorer, some of the Asian competitors, but then we decided that we wanted to actually advance the art of the SUV market.
You know, a lot of people expect a certain kind of ride when they're driving a sport utility, especially over a bumpy road. But there's really no reason that a sport utility has to ride harshly, even when unloaded. Because more and more sport utility buyers want a smooth, comfortable ride while still maintaining truck-like capabilities for load capacity, trailering, and off-road driving, Chevy engineers completely redesigned the Blazer suspension system, literally from the ground up. And just as you would when building a new home, we began by making sure that the foundation for the new Blazer, the frame, was as strong and secure as possible.
If you were to look at the old Blazer, the frame would be an open C-channel. Where my hand's at now, you could actually stick your hand inside the frame. What we've done on the new Blazer is fully box the frame. That makes it much stiffer, both bending and torsion.
When we talk about bending and torsion, what we mean is that on bumpy or rutted roads, the boxed frame limits unwanted motions, like twisting from side to side, bending when both wheels hit a bump, or the wheels hitting bumps out of sync with each other.
One of the things we've done on a new Blazer is to improve the mounting of the torsion bar here. What it does is it actually improves the fore-aft compliance of the suspension. If you look at the back side of this, you can see that our torsion bar crossmember is hanging by a link assembly. What that does is when you hit a bump, it allows the whole suspension to move rearward just a little bit to absorb the energy of that bump so you don't feel the sharpness of it.
Another important part of the new driver control system is the new rear leaf spring. Sport utilities use two-stage rear springs. The second stage is needed to support heavy payloads. With the old style of rear leaf spring, the second stage was curved just like the first. When an unloaded vehicle hit a large bump, the suspension system traveled and the second stage engaged all at once. That gave the rider an abrupt jolt or a kicking sensation. Of course, Chevy engineers wanted to eliminate that jolt when they designed the new driver control system. So in Blazer's new rear leaf springs, the second stage is flat. That means that the contact rolls out from the center, gradually engaging the second stage. This action avoids the kick and gives you a smooth ride while still providing the load carrying capacity you need.
This is something you're not going to find on a Jeep Grand Cherokee. They've got a coil spring suspension with single stage coils, so that it gives you a smooth ride when it's empty, but when you load it up, it's going to tend to sag down in the rear. Our vehicle has got the smooth ride when it's empty, but when you load it down, this second stage will help the vehicle stay level and maintain a load carrying capability of the truck.
When it comes to Blazer's ride and handling, many people prefer to have a choice. After all, it's a very personal decision. For instance, some customers like a smooth, solid ride with a car-like feel. Some choose a tighter touring ride, and others prefer the rugged feel of an off-road suspension. Before, choosing a suspension system for Blazer involved some guesswork because individual components were ordered separately. With the 1995 Blazer's new driver control system, Chevy has developed new suspension packages that eliminate that guesswork. Each package has been engineered to deliver consistent performance, and the components in each package have been carefully selected to work together to deliver the kind of ride and handling that meets or even exceeds customer expectations.
We've got an extremely diverse group of customers coming into the Blazer, and that was the reason that we packaged the suspension and created so many different packages. Each of these packages is going to appeal to a different type of buyer. Some people who are after the traditional SUV type of ride, some people who are coming out of luxury cars or prefer that very soft ride. They drive mostly on the highways. Some people who are coming out of European or Japanese sporty sedans like a Honda Accord or a Mercedes, a BMW. They're going to feel very comfortable in our touring suspension. So the vehicle has been designed and developed to appeal to a very diverse group of customers.
If a customer comes in or if a dealer wants to stock a vehicle, he can't make a mistake by ordering the wrong springs or wrong suspension with the wrong tires. You know, they're all one cohesive unit. The tires go with the springs, they go with the shocks, they go with everything else that makes this thing going to ride and handle the way that our customers have told us that they expect this vehicle to ride and handle.
This new package approach makes things much easier for Chevy customers and salespeople. Each package contains the appropriate spring, shock, and tire combination, ensuring a properly developed system. When ordering, simply determine what kind of driving the customer will be doing and choose the right package to meet their needs. Remember, separate RPOs for springs, shocks, and tires have been eliminated. In two-door Blazer models, customers can choose a dependable smooth ride, touring ride, or off-road suspension. Four-door Blazer models are also available with 3 suspension choices: smooth ride, touring ride, and premium ride.
Many people will want to use Blazer for trailering, as well as everyday driving or off-roading. So Chevy has included a standard 5-lead wiring harness on every new Blazer. For heavier loads, a special Z82 heavy-duty towing package is also available. The package includes a 7-lead wiring harness, heavy-duty flashers, and a special platform that distributes the weight of the load more evenly. These new driver control system suspension packages and the heavy-duty towing package do simplify vehicle ordering, but most of all, they help to make certain that people get the kind of ride and handling they're looking for every time.
We would strongly encourage people to test drive our competitors or an old Blazer before they come and drive this vehicle. It's really going to knock their socks off. You're going to be able to point out many attributes and features on the chassis that can help explain why it rides and handles the way it does.
Another new component of the driver control system is the shock absorbers. The standard shocks on the 95 Blazer give you a smooth ride with excellent control and durability. And you'll find gas-charged monotube shocks in Blazer's premium touring and off-road packages. First used on luxury cars, the benefits of gas-charged monotube shocks are stability, long wear, and sure response under heavy loads.
This is probably one of the biggest chassis attributes we have on the Blazer is our shock absorbers. Now, this particular truck is equipped with our premium suspension package, and it's got orange decarbone monotube dampers. These are a real premium unit, and I can't emphasize how much they do for the vehicle. They're a monotube high-pressure gas design. They are extremely durable and long-lasting. In fact, many of our customers won't replace these for the life of the car. And they give us an expanded tuning capability. They allow us to have a soft ride without floaty ride motions. If you remember in the past, when you had well-controlled vehicles, they would tend to be very harsh riding. When you had soft riding vehicles, they would tend to be very floaty and loose. These shocks allow us to have the best of both worlds. We get the soft ride without the floaty ride motions.
Blazer also has standard large front and rear stabilizer bars, which give you flat, smooth cornering and secure handling, even on bumpy roads. Working together, the stabilizer bars and the gas-charged monotube shocks give Blazer excellent rough road handling, which helps drivers maintain control.
I think the feel is great. It's tight, but it's not bouncy all over the road. You know where you're at on the road.
This particular truck's a four-wheel drive model, and I'd like to show you the link-type stabilizer bar that we've gone to for 1995. What this link assembly actually does is it improves the compliance of the suspension so that the wheel can actually move rearward just a little bit when you hit a bump. You'll notice that when you hit bumps in this Blazer, you can't feel the sharpness of the bump. It's got a real compliant, rounded-off feel to it.
And depending on which system the customer selects, Chevy offers 3 different tire combinations. Each one is designed specifically for the new Blazer.
Some of the goals we were looking for were very low noise. We wanted good handling and ride, wet traction, wet handling, snow traction, snow handling, and also extremely good wear characteristics. These tires are going to be used on most of our Blazers. They're a Michelin XW4 radial. They're a part of our premium and touring suspension system. If you get the base suspension, you have a Tiger Paw AWP, which comes from Uniroyal. And if you get the off-road suspension, you have a special Wrangler RTS tire, which comes from Goodyear.
One of the things you're going to notice on the Blazer is how stable it is. And when our salespeople get a chance to drive it, or when the customer drives it, they're going to be able to see, for example, we got this thing we call valley feel, where you don't have to really move the wheel a whole lot to keep this truck online, and it stays online. And the fact we have a rear stabilizer bar, the fact we got gas-charged shocks, that's going to make this a very stable ride. It's not going to give you that boulevard, wavy type of ride, and when you turn the corner, it's not going to be all over the place. It's going to be a very stable, car-like ride. And it's, I believe that, again, if I can say 3 things on how what the salesperson can do to sell this truck, that would be to test drive the product, test drive it, and then test drive it. And those are the 3 most important things that our salespeople can do to get the sale on this vehicle.
For the feeling of the car, it makes the car. It does that. It's like trying on a shirt. Does it fit you?
The new suspension packages aren't the only brand new comfort features on 95 Blazer. Chevy's also improved the cab design, adding extra insulation. This stops a lot of the exterior noise from reaching the interior. Plus, we've added counter-rotating balance shaft technology to the 4.3-liter V6 engine. This technology cancels out much of the engine vibration, giving you a smooth-running engine and a quiet cab. Other creature comforts of the new Blazer include more front shoulder, hip, and headroom. Compared to the 94 Blazer, the 95 Blazer has an added 3.3 inches of shoulder room for front passengers, 1.5 inches of hip room, and a 1/2 inch of headroom.
We were able to increase the interior shoulder room by a full 3 inches while only increasing the exterior dimensions side to side by 1 inch. The overall length is very comparable. It's slightly longer in the front. That's primarily due to the new front end styling. Leg room is increased. The seat moves back a full notch more. So I think that the first impression people are going to get when they sit in the new Blazer and the showroom experience and so on, or when they first drive it, is it's much more roomy and airy than the previous vehicle, although just as easy to maneuver and park and handle, get into small spaces.
When I first sat down, I'm going, yeah, this is an uncomfortable vehicle, but when I make a couple of adjustments, I'm going, hey, this is cool. And I like the interior. It's nice, everything's reachable, within reach.
The interior design on the new Blazer is specifically a product of a lot of market research. We spent a lot of time talking to our customers, finding out where the deficiencies were in the current product and what we can improve on, and how the market has actually evolved. The market that was in existence when the first Blazers came out is a much more sophisticated, more expecting market than at that time. And the car creature comfort attributes are something that they look for, and we feel that we've been able to provide.
This is my first time looking at the interior in this vehicle. I like how all the buttons are laid out. Everything's very easy to get to. I like the new fabric. The steering column's very impressive with the new tilt wheel lever. It's got a compass for this year. I always lose my way around. And the clock built in is pretty slick.
Air conditioning is standard on all Blazer models, and Chevy has given the system greater airflow and used non-CFC R134A refrigerant. In the rear, a new heating duct helps keep passengers comfortable with airflow from the heater and the air conditioner. On the base Blazer, a 4-speed automatic transmission is standard, as is an AM/FM stereo radio with digital clock and 4 speakers. On the LS and LT trim levels, you'll find a standard AM/FM stereo cassette, also with digital clock and 4 speakers. Seating options include a 60/40 split folding bench seat with storage armrest, available on 4-door models. Or choose high-back reclining bucket seats with manual lumbar adjustment, or high-back leather bucket seats with 6-way power lumbar adjustment on Blazer LT. A driver's comfort and convenience package includes tilt wheel, speed control, power windows, door locks, and mirrors. It's an option on the base model and standard on the LS and LT, and it makes life on the road much easier.
We focused a lot on the ergonomics of the design, the reach. You'll find when you sit in that front seat that easy access to controls, the radio, the HVACs, all of those things are much improved. The knobs are large and easy to operate. The speedometer and instrumentation is analog again. It's very easy to read and understand. So we've listened very carefully to our customers and what they did not feel was good design in the current product, and significantly improved the new one.
Because consumers expect vehicles to be equipped with anti-lock brakes and airbags, Blazer's base trim level has both 4-wheel anti-lock brakes and a driver's side airbag. And remember, always use your seatbelt. And the Husky 4.3-liter V6 engine with a new generation onboard diagnostic system is also standard on the new Blazer, giving you more than enough power to feel confident on steep inclines or bad roads. Ride and handling, interior quiet, comfort and convenience. The new 1995 Blazer has it all. But one of the most talked about changes in Blazer is its brand new look.
We've come out with something really new, where we have a very sleek aerodynamic shape to ours, which really hasn't been seen in this segment. And it's going to be a lot like, I think, what we did with the full-size pickup. You know, the full-size pickup was always real boxy and square, and then all of a sudden, you know, in the late 80s, we came out with this rounded aerodynamic pickup truck. And it has been accepted very well in the marketplace. And I expect the same thing to happen with the design and the styling on our new Blazer.
The design theme is a very simple theme. It's a bold, strong lower that has a wheel-oriented theme. In other words, there's a strong shape that runs along the bottom third of the truck and over the wheel openings. The upper side of the body is very smooth and functional and very aerodynamic. And one of the things you'll notice for the first time in a long time, it's a truck without an upper feature line, and that was on purpose. We did that to enhance that theme. So there's clearly the bold foundation, which tells you it's the truck. That's the truck part. That's where the business end of the truck is. Down in the chassis and the drivetrain components, that's where the strength is. And then the upper part of the body is where the people are, and that's the more civilized, car-like aspect. And I think that without having to understand that literally, the product will convey that message subtly.
As soon as you see it coming down the road, I think it'll jump out at you, make you take notice right away.
You know, the paint system that we have on this new Blazer is absolutely, you know, head and shoulders above the paint system that we had on the old one. We have a clear coat paint on this. Of course, we had the powder primer on this one, just like we did with the S-Series truck. And it looks a lot wetter, it looks a lot smoother, doesn't have as much orange peel, and it's just a heck of a lot better paint job all the way around. And it's in these new colors that we have, they really pop out at you on this truck. Whereas before, because we didn't have the clear coat process, I think that was one of the reasons why we really didn't have a whole lot of really bright colors on the old Blazer. But on this one, you got the teal, the raspberry, the purples, and they really pop.
You'll be seeing the new Blazer in your dealership soon. Its distinctive personality and styling should set the pace for the rest of the segment in '95.
Cleaner air and water, lack of landfill space. Today, these things are on everyone's mind, including the people at Chevrolet. General Motors is putting a lot of effort into new technologies and ways of producing cars and trucks that will have less of an impact on our environment. One example is switching to non-CFC R134A refrigerant in all 1994 Chevrolet automobiles, trucks, and vans. Another is GM's commitment to recycling. Already, in 94% of the scrapped cars and trucks in America, up to 3/4 of the content is recycled. The recyclable parts include plastics like bumper fascias, exterior trim, wheel arch liners, selected wheel inserts, instrument and interior panels, and more. Even large parts like some body panels, fenders, hoods, and grills can be recycled. And of course, we all know better than to throw away things like antifreeze, solvents, motor oils, and lubricants. But General Motors' commitment to recycling goes farther. In a pilot program at the GM-Suzuki joint venture CAMI plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, over 90% of all manufacturing waste are currently being recycled. At the CAMI plant, where the Geo, Metro, and Tracker models are assembled, recycling collection takes place everywhere, on the production floor, in the cafeterias and offices, and even the team rest areas. And everyone in the plant is dedicated to the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. We're here in Highland Park, Michigan, where General Motors is working together with Ford and Chrysler in a joint research facility dedicated to encouraging automotive recycling. The scientists and engineers at the Big Three's Vehicle Recycling Development Center will dismantle over 500 cars and trucks each year to study ways to make them even more recyclable. The center will also serve as a resource for design engineers who want to learn more about designing recyclable vehicles.
Recycling is an important part of creating a cleaner environment. But General Motors is also looking towards the future by developing new technologies that will continue to reduce emissions. The new Blazer will be one of the first vehicles in the Chevy lineup to use another new feature that helps the environment: a new generation onboard diagnostic system called OBD II. OBD II is designed to work in conjunction with the black box, the onboard computer that monitors and adjusts powertrain operations on all Chevy and Geo vehicles. But OBD II is smarter than our current system. It will actually be able to recognize when the performance of certain functions is beginning to decline.
For customers, this means that a part can be replaced before it fails and causes a breakdown. It also means greater fuel economy, better performance, and faster, more convenient service. For everyone, OBD II means lower emissions levels over the life of the vehicle. OBD II's monitoring system uses a malfunction indicator lamp, or MIL, to alert drivers when their emission control system needs attention. Blazer customers will need to generally understand how the OBD II system works and what the benefits are.
OBD II will be in place on all Chevrolet and Geo vehicles in the 1996 model year, but customers will be interested to hear about it now. Ultimately, OBD II will mean added efficiency and faster recognition of potential problems for drivers, as well as cleaner air for all of us.
In a move to heighten customer satisfaction, Chevrolet will require van converters to offer warranties that are at least comparable to factory warranties on their van conversions beginning in 1995. Now currently, General Motors warranties cover everything on a chassis except tires for 3 years or 36,000 miles with no deductibles. In the past, Van conversion warranties have varied widely.
The biggest impact of this change will be on electronic components, such as TVs, CD players, and VCRs. Electronics usually carry a warranty of just 1 year, and often less on parts and labor. However, some electronics suppliers, such as ASA Inc. and TriStar Distributing, say they're ready to extend their warranties to match GM's. ASA plans to extend warranties across the board for Chevy, GMC, Ford, and Dodge conversions.
Following in the footsteps of the GM card, Volkswagen is the latest car manufacturer to offer a credit card to encourage sales. With the Volkswagen Visa, users can apply 5% of the value of each purchase towards the purchase of a new Volkswagen, up to a limit of $700 per year.
On the electronic highway, Saturn has made a deal with Prodigy, a national computer database available to consumers. The new alliance will bring Saturn product information and local dealer information to an estimated 2 million Prodigy subscribers. And in preparation for the upcoming 1998 California zero emissions mandate, Honda will test its electric vehicle in Southern California later this summer. Honda is the first Japanese automaker to deliver electric vehicles for testing.
You know, we've learned a lot about the new Blazer in this program, but there's even more information coming soon. You can expect your 95 Blazer Introductory Trainer Pack at your dealership in early August. The 1995 New Product Trainer Pack will arrive in September. And that's all we have time for in this edition. I'm Peter Carey.
And I'm Loretta Higgins. We'll see you again soon on the next Truck Track.